What up, bitch? This is Aaron King representing the Off Wax podcast brought to you by Drip Daily. Today, we're going to talk about one of my favorite producers of all time. His name is Justin Gregory Smith from New Jersey, a.k.a. Justin Blaze, a.k.a. Just Blaze, okay? If you love Rockefeller, if you love Dipset, then you should know who this man is. Before there was a Kanye West in Rockefeller, there was a Just Blaze. You hear me? I believe the first time I heard Just Blaze was on the Rock La Familia album, 1-900 Hustler. You know, after that, I think one of the most prominent beats of that time was You Don't Know by Jay-Z. First of all, if you really think about the blueprint, there are two producers that really made the blueprint what it was. It was Kanye West and it was Just Blaze. And Just Blaze had You Don't Know, and he also had Girls, Girls, Girls. A lot of people don't know that. Even though what we do is wrong. One of the best lyrical assaults and just street drug rap that we've ever heard in hip-hop history. Just Blaze made the soundtrack for that. Now, if your bitch ass was out here pop locking and booty dropping around when You Got Served came out, you heard a song called Pump It Up. Now, don't lie, because you niggas was out here fucking twisting and turning and shaking ass to a beat that you didn't know that this nigga made. All right, it's one of the best beats of all time. I know niggas don't like Joe Budden that much. Of course, I love Joe Budden, but like this is one of the best songs of hip hop history, in my opinion, as far as just like club energy. I don't know if they were bumping that in the club back. They were definitely bumping that in the club back in the day. But yeah, Just Blaze made the soundtrack to that. Now the thing about Just Blaze is a lot of niggas use the beat machine when they're in the booth making these fucking beats and shit. They use the little pad, and you know what I'm saying? That's not what Just Blaze does. Just Blaze goes into the booth where you have the instrumentalist, everybody is the band. He goes in the booth where the band plays, and he picks up the sticks, and he drums behind that shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, the thing about Just Blaze, again, he's one of the best chop artists. I call them chop artists. I don't know if that's the perfect term, but I call them chop artists. He's one of those guys that chops a sample so perfectly that you don't know what the sample is for the beat. Perfect example, Jay-Z's album Kingdom Come. I think that came out in what, 2005, 6 maybe? He had a song called Kingdom Come. Now, if you listen to this song, you don't know what that sample is. But if you ever heard a song called Super Freak by Rick James, and you put those two songs together, you would see the greatness of Just Blaze. You know what I mean? He's one of those guys that just like can take a sample and mix it and turn it into something that you would never expect it to be. Just Blaze has an illustrious long career. He came out with Live Your Life with T.I. Not one of my favorite T.I. songs, maybe not even be one of my favorite Just Blaze beats. But at the same time, this man was a mastermind in how he wrote the hook for Rihanna. Think about that. He wrote the beat. I mean, he made the beat, wrote the hook, gave that shit to the label, gave that shit to T.I. and Rihanna and made a hit out of that. Also, All the Above by Mano. Another Just Blaze beat. Another Just Blaze hook. Oh boy. Now, let's talk about that. If you see the hat that I'm wearing right now, I'm not wearing this for no reason, because I love the Diplomats. There are two beats that are near and dear to my heart forever. One of them is I Really Mean It by Cameron Giles and the Diplomats. That was made by Just Blaze. Y'all need to know who y'all producers are, man. Get familiar. That's one of the best beats of all time, one of the best raps of all time, one of the best songs in hip-hop history. Also, Oh Boy. I believe Oh Boy was made for Jay-Z at the time. There's a story behind that where Jay-Z, I guess, he was doing too much. He was just out, you know what I'm saying, being Hove. And Cam saw a beat CD on a console, and he just took it home, and he wrote Oh Boy. And that became Oh Boy, one of the most memorable beats from that Rockefeller era. Just Blaze is really one of the guys that made the soundtrack to everything that was fly about Rockefeller. And everything that was hard, everything that was all those gangster records that you liked, all those fly records that you liked, you could attribute that to Just Blaze. Fabulous had a song called Breathe. If you love Fabulous, it's one of the most famous songs that he's ever came out with. Incredible beat. And that's another one of those beats where you could tell that Just Blaze was in there. Breathe out. Breathe. Touch the Sky by Kanye West. A lot of people don't know. A lot of people think that was just Kanye. Nah, that was Just Blaze. On the motherfucking drums again with the boots and the cats. Nigga, boots and cats. Show Me What You Got was Jay-Z's return, and one of his epic returns back into the rap music sphere. Incredible beat again. That's that when you hear that horn. You know what I'm saying? What you want me to do? Exhibit C. Jay Electronica. I think Just Blaze, I can actually attribute Just Blaze to the person that actually introduced me to Jay Electronica. Because the first thing I heard from Jay Electronica was Exhibit C. I'm like, who is this nigga on this incredible beat? Of course, Just Blaze is behind there, egging them on. You know what I'm saying? I rest my case. Just Blaze did Song Cry for Jay-Z. Come on now. Look at me right now. You love Song Cry. Everybody loves Song Cry. Song Cry makes you cry. That's Just Blaze, nigga. Flip Side by Freeway. Flip Side by Freeway was another one with PD Crack. Great instrumentation. I think he did Rock the Mic by Beanie. It's Freeway in the place with Beat Seat, and I got what it takes to rock the mic, right? Yeah. State Property, one of the greatest movies, greatest hip hop movies of all time. When you watch this movie here, and you watch that beginning scene in the strip club with them shakers in that shake club, the instrumentation behind that was made by Just Blaze, one of the greatest producers of all time, and he needs his respect and his flowers. A producer's career has to stand the test of time for them to be great in my eyes, because a lot of producers are fly by night. You never hear about them again after the first 2-3 years they're even around. And we can say that for a lot of producers that have came and went. And even recent years, you hear about a lot of producers. You hear a lot of producer tags. And let's talk about the producer tag. Just Blaze has a very iconic producer tag. And I think that was him actually starting that type of wave, because he was one of the first people that you heard with an actual tag that he did himself. You know what I'm saying? He stamped that Just Blaze. That was his voice. Yeah, shout out to Just Blaze. Shout out to hip hop. Shout out to Rockefeller, or what was Rockefeller. I have a lot of love, a lot of affinity for everybody that was involved in the Rockefeller era and the Rockefeller team, State Property, Dipset. Everything that came out of there was at one point a soundtrack to my life. I was a huge Rockefeller head when I was 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 years old, just being in love with hip hop and rapping myself and starting to produce myself. And Just Blaze is one of those guys that I've always looked to for inspiration. Just Blaze produced one of the most iconic beats of all time, which would be PSA by Jay-Z. Everybody knows. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is... That is also produced by the great Just Blaze. Heard everywhere, felt everywhere, understood as iconic as that is one of the greatest triumphant songs that we've ever heard in hip hop history. He also did a song called Welcome to New York City, and he also did, what's the other one? I mean, if you don't really know East Coast hip hop, like New York hip hop, these are staples in New York hip hop. These are songs that everybody loves, everybody appreciates. If you put these songs on, people are throwing their hats. We drinking quarter waters and eating chopped cheeses. There's songs that I forget that Just Blaze actually did, because Just Blaze also did Lord Knows for for Drake and Rick Ross. He also did I Love My Bitches. All right, so there's a song called I Love My Bitches by Rick Ross. If you know the original for this song, one of the greatest, I swear on everything I love. When I was in college, me and my friend, one of my best friends, Carson, we're in our fucking apartment, and we saw the new Rick Ross songs. We were Rick Ross heads back then. And we saw a song called I Love My Bitches. And we heard a Just Blaze, and that beat drop. That original, if you know, you know. The original I Love My Bitches. One of the greatest beats of all time. Incredible. We're going to play this as soon as I get off this motherfucking mic. You know what I'm saying? Shout out everybody on the East Coast. Shout out to hip hop. Shout out Off Wax. Shout out Drip Daily. My name is Aaron King, a.k.a. Simi Sosa, a.k.a. Kubrick, a.k.a. Aaron Gordy. Love y'all, man. Off Wax. You already know what it is.